Greetings again, and welcome to another Guilds of Ravnica Premier Draft. My two previous ones haven't been exactly very successful, so let's see if that trend continues or I can manage to actually win more than a couple of matches. This rare isn't very good. Problem is that it's a 5 mana 3/4, which are not really that great stats even for a 4 mana card. And then I guess the idea is that you get to cast sorceries as when you normally can't cast sorceries. But the 3 mana activation means that you can't even get that great of a discount. Most instants and sorceries don't really cost that much more. Of course there are more expensive ones, but they are not really that common. I don't think this is a good card for limited at all. And the best cards in the pack, I think, might just be the two color uncommons in here. I don't think I'm gonna first pick a capture sphere, and I don't really like to first pick a 6-drop either. I guess the Wojciech Bodyguard would have been one if you want to really force Boros. Then you can consider just picking that one right from the right as the first card in the draft. But I don't think it's not that good that you should first pick them unless you really want to force Boros. I just want to try if Selesnya could happen, because this is a 2 mana 2/2 that has two, I think, quite nice abilities, although the 6 mana one kind of requires that there's some kind of a board stall. But then again, if there is, this can really solve that kind of a stall situation. So here the best card is, I'm not even that sure if this Deadly Visit is that great. No, so I think I might just stick to Selesnya. The Wood Shaper, no, it's okay. 4 mana 2/1 is just not exactly great stats. I think I'd rather take the Guild Gate in here. Thing is that 4 mana 2/1 that draws a card, I don't think it's good. So I kind of try to kind of compare it to such a card, and sometimes this may even whiff. So I might pick and play if I get this very late, but I don't think I'm gonna kind of prioritize these kind of cards early in the draft. Here the best card is the Golgari Find Broker. The Temple Garden would be nice, of course, for Selesnya. Very nice land fixing. But I think because I already picked the Guild Gate, I don't really need that kind of an effect right now. It's only worth 20 gems after all. So I'm gonna take the Flight of Equinox, and at least it's now picked quite early, so I have to. I have the option to kind of pick cards that make it easier to convoke this, and I immediately got one. So Sworn Companions, not necessarily that great. With 3 mana you get 2 1/1s, so 2/2 worth of stats. Okay, they have a lifelink, but anyway, 3 mana 2/2 lifelinker wouldn't be that great of a card. But now that this will help in convoking, and I already have a big convoker here, so I think it makes sense to pick this. I don't really see a reason to deviate from my green-white colors yet, so let's just keep on picking Selesnya cards, and hopefully I can actually stay green-white here. Alright, so here we have it's gonna be the Blade Instructor. It's good in Selesnya, it's good in Boros, so I think it's pretty easy pick. Now that I have one Guild Gate, I don't have to prioritize Guild Gates that high. Okay, Siege Worm has to be the pick. It's the obvious, I picked the Sworn Companions already, so definitely I just want to. Basically, if you have plenty of Convokers, you just want to go, like maybe even 1-drop, but at least 2-drop, 3-drop, and so on, and convoke big stuff early on, and this kind of stuff that gives me two creatures is even better. So, yeah, this is pretty easy. Easy Siege Worm here. How about the World Soul Colossus? It's not amazing, it doesn't have trample, but you can make a pretty good big guy. It's not that mana efficient. At 4 mana you get a 2/2, so basically, I guess if you have 2 creatures you don't mind tapping, you get the 4 mana 4/4, which is okay. It's I think slightly above average, so I think the Colossus is a fine card. Of course, I'm gonna pick it from this pack regardless because there's nothing else. I was just kind of trying to gauge how good this card really is. Okay, the Warrior copy Potkul is fine. I mean, these are cards that can just, participate in the convoke business. But do I want to have the Gatekeeper Gargoyle? I have one. I have one Guild Gate. I think, past one or two, at least one, maybe even two Guild Gates, or maybe I mixed the Temple Guardian as one. But I mean, if you have like a 3 to 4 Guild Gates in the deck, I think this Gargoyle can be quite nice. So I'd rather take it than these things that I'm very likely to get these cards later in the draft as well. Okay, here I'm taking the Wood Shaper. It's really, I mean, the other option is to take 20 gems, and I'm not really needing 20 gems that much. I might even get some good enchantment. Actually, that's the thing. If you get a bomb creature or a bomb enchantment, then of course the value of this card increases quite significantly. I won't be taking Pause for Reflection. This is best of one. This is, in some cases, this is a good sideboard card, but in best of one, I'm never playing this kind of effect. It's a Locket or another Wood Shaper. I don't think I want to play another Wood Shaper. I mean, there's slightly more chance that I'm ending up with the Locket here, and this is, of course, the 2-drop over the Wood Shaper. I think I play at most one Wood Shaper here. Okay, I'll take the Ceratok, but I will put to the deck right now, but it's not really an exciting card at all. Well, I got one Guild Gate very late, so that was a nice one. So this is my third draft, and it seems like I'm Selesnya. In the first draft, I drafted Boros, then I drafted Golgari, and now Selesnya. So maybe I will draft each of the archetypes before I stop drafting these Guilds of Ravnica drafts. Well, it depends on if they're gonna be open or not. Here it's pretty easy. Sunhome Stalwart, very nice 2-drop. Its mentor even might do something here with the Sworn Companions, and of course there will be ways to maybe boost this power. I mean, I already have this Blade Instructor that can actually make this one be a 3 power guy, and then this can mentor even more. But yeah, there's not really anything else in this pack for me, so it's going to be an easy pick. So currently I have 3 2-drops. Okay, well this is nice pack. Wow, this is nice pack. I mean, I wouldn't mind to take like the Shield Mate when this pack comes back to me. It's possible that I get this. Joint Shields isn't very good. I mean, this is again one of the cards you might in some rare cases consider sideboarding in, but in best of one you don't really put this kind of a card in your deck. The Siege Worm and the Conclave Guildmage and the Inspiring Unicorn, they are all good cards, and it's going to be a tough choice between them. I do have the Siege Worm already and the Colossus, so I don't maybe need and of course the Conclave, where is it, the Equinout thing? Come on, Flight of Equinauts, yeah. Conclave Equinout is of course from original Ravnica, a 3/3 flyer, 6 mana with Convoke. I think I'd rather, I mean, this is such a good card, the Guildmates, but the Inspiring Unicorn can just make, attacks so much better that I think I'll just want to pick that one here. But I could have easily picked another Guildmate 2-drop, very good card. I mean, maybe not necessarily very good, but considering that it's a 2-mana 2/2, it doesn't really need that much upside to be playable, and these both abilities can be relevant. Well, here a lot worse. I mean, there's some kind of consideration to pick the Guild Gate, which kind of helps this Gargoyle, and then it makes possible to splash for something. But I guess I'll just take the 3/4 Convoker. I have the Sworn Companions here already, so I might have a slightly easier time to convoke stuff out than normally. Right, Might of the Masses says, well, I mean, this can be good in a go wide deck, but I have no idea if this is in a go wide deck yet. I mean, I do have a lot of creatures, and I have one card that makes 2 creatures, but that's not necessarily enough yet, so I think it's just safer to pick a 2-drop here, and that's what I do. I definitely never want to miss a 2-drop in this deck. However, here while I would normally like to pick the two, I actually want to take Sworn Companions because I do have 3 big Convokers in the Siege Worm, Flight of Equinox and World Soul Colossus, and also have this not so big, this is 6 mana Convoker, but still the Sworn Companions I think will be good here, so I'll take it rather than the 2-drop. Besides, I already took a 2-drop in the previous pack. How about the Warrior Copy? I mean, 3 mana 3/2 isn't that great. Potkulis Wine. No, I'm not gonna take the Ceratok. I don't think, because I don't have any, what's this, Undergrowth, this kind of stuff. I don't really need to play this kind of card. I guess I'll take the Okapi. I'm not excited running it, but I will pick it for now. I have one Vigor Spore Worm picked already, and these are not really that great. I mean, 6 mana 6/4. It's the Crow Worm, but it's a Crow Worm, but it's not really good nowadays. It has an ability, of course, but if I play one, I will only play one. I mean, yeah, I have one picked, so I think I'm gonna take the Black Guildgate in case something black will come and be something that I want to splash here. Okay, the Peacemaker is fine. Sometimes it's really annoying to give your opponent 4 life when you are really ahead in the race, but it's a 3 mana 3/3, and I still might have a bigger game plan of just getting these big Convokers out. So I'm not necessarily that kind of an aggressive deck, so I don't mind both players getting 4 extra life. That buys me time as well to be able to play these big guys. And yeah, I'm not gonna play another Ceratok. That's pretty obvious that I'm not gonna want to play it. I don't want to play the Recluse, but I mean, if I had to choose between those two, I think I'd rather take the 1/4. Okay, Urban Utopia. It's a color fixer. Yeah, fine. I'll take it if I want to splash something. That really is not a good card. That the card that was there that gives your team hexproof and indestructible, and I guess it's untaps them all also, but it's a 5 mana instant. Okay, so now I basically have a black splash pretty easily doable here. Well, especially now that I have a Golgari Locket here too. So if there's something black I wanna play, of course not anything like a Rhizome or Lurker, but Lurcher. How do you say it? Lurcher maybe. Yeah, so if there's any single caster black spell that I want to splash, I can do that. Well, there's nothing like that in here. So my removal is non-existent, isn't that correct? That is correct. So I'm actually considering picking Demotion is 1. The Bounty Agent isn't really that good. It's a legendary permanent. Yeah, this is really just a 2 mana 2/2 Vigilance. Not really better than the hybrid green-white card. Take Heart, Prey Upon. I mean, the Prey Upon I'm thinking about because I have a bunch of big guys, and I guess I want to have some card that can kind of be considered to be a removal spell. And here, I don't pick the Haunted Witness. I guess I need some. I have only 4 non-creatures, and I don't know how good they even are. I'm going to pick their boost spell now. If you don't have removal, you want to have combat tricks. That's usually how it goes. Okay, so where are the good cards? I guess there's another Prey Upon. The Candlelight Vigil is just, it's just asking for a 2-for-1. I don't want to risk that. The Patrol, it can grow the Zone Companions, and the Blade Instructor can grow the Patrol, so it's not completely out of question, but I'm just considering the Demotion. Is my deck aggressive enough that I can actually consider having Demotion in the deck? This is again best of 1, so if you have it in your deck, you can't get rid of it. You can change your deck between rounds, but I kind of think that I don't want to run 2 Prey Upons. I'd try this Demotion here. Okay, now we get finally some kind of payoff for being in Selesnya. I was a bit worried here that I'm again getting a deck with just a mediocre green and white. Basically mediocre cards for your guild colors. and you don't get any of the good double-colored cards, multicolored cards. But this Ledev champion is obviously, this is a payoff for being Selesnya. Okay, Guildmage's Forum. I don't think I have. Yeah, I have a few golden cards. Well, I mean, 5 exactly. But it messes up your mana otherwise because it only adds colorless. So it's pretty easy district guide in here. It also gets me a gate. So if I'm gonna play this Gatekeeper Gargoyle, that's basically one other gate. Or unless I've already drawn two gates. But then again, that makes the Gargoyle already a 5/5. So quite good. This is pretty expensive. I'm not looking forward to playing this kind of 9 mana Convoker. I guess I could, but this is pretty easy district guide. Another Peacemaker, right. Well, we can go try that kind of plan. Although that doesn't really work with the Demotion plan very nicely. I mean, if I play a card like a Demotion... well, I mean, I guess I will get the life myself to... Might of the Masses might be nice, but... now that I have the Gatekeeper Gargoyle, I think I'll just take the Guild Gate in here. Plus, I have here enough cards that I will have to make cuts anyway. So do I want to play another Prey Upon or a Writer's Blow? I guess the Writer's Blow is quite nice against something like Boros. So I will take I'll play like 1 and 1 rather than 2 Prey Upon. So let's take that. And now we have Take Heart. Actually, that is something I'm gonna play here. And well, I'm guessing. Well, I'm not gonna play it here. It is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's actually quite a few. Quite a few actually 2-drops. I might actually have to play the Witness, even though I don't want to. Yeah, there's just nothing. I'll just take the uncommon. I'm never gonna play the Candlelight Vigil here. Portcullis Wine. I mean, that helps with the Convoker and it buys your card at some point. I have one of these already. I don't think I want to play 2. So let's take the 1-drop. Oh, that's the Okapi. Okay, I have a cuts to make. I guess I don't want to give this Leapfrog to anyone. Okay, I will have a bunch of cuts to make. Okay, the usual message here at this point before I build the deck. If you are not familiar with my videos, I will upload every day draft videos. Usually best of 3, so traditional drafts, but in this case, of course, there's no Guild of Ravnica available as a traditional draft. So if you want to keep up with my content, please subscribe, or at least consider subscribing so that you can more easily follow my uploads. Alright, so yeah, I'm not gonna, of course, splash anything black here. I have the Portcullis. I have 2 Portcullis Wines here, by the way. Well, I mean, these are the... I'm not gonna play these cards that are in my sideboard currently, so I will have to make a bunch of cuts here. I'm gonna play 3 Guild Gates and 14 other basic lands, so... let's see, I think the Weaker Spore Worm just is gonna get cut right away. I have enough expensive stuff. The Woodshaper... I don't have any enchantments, right? No, I have 1. Well, it's the Demotion. Not sure if I'm gonna end up playing it. I think I'm actually pretty sure I'm not gonna play it. And I guess I can cut 1 Portcullis Wine here. And I'm gonna play the Seratok because in the end I didn't get that many 4-drops here. The Woodshaper currently has well 21 or 20 other creatures, so a lot of targets, but I need to cut fellow to Warrior Copy. At least one of them goes. Yeah, the other one goes too. I mean, I have 3s. Yeah, I have a lot of 3-drops. I only keep the good ones. So these I think are the good ones. This one is something expensive. 3 cards to cut. I mean, the Haunted Witness would go. Or the Portcullis Wine if I mean, I do want to have a play early in the game, but it doesn't seem very... I mean, if I'm cutting like the Portcullis Wine in here, it's gonna mean that... It is going to mean that I have only 5 plays to make for turn 1 or turn 2. That I'm not gonna be able to have that in every game. That's bad. Okay, the Celestial Locket, although it does accelerate to these things, I think I just don't have room for that kind of a spell in here. How about the Loxodon Restorer? I mean, if you have 2 guys, you can convoke this at 4 mana. You gain some life there. I mean, I might just actually cut one of these Peacemakers. I have so many 3-drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm gonna... I mean, not Pacemaker. Did I say Pacemaker? I think I did. Well, I mean, I guess the hand is kind of on top of her heart, so maybe she has a Pacemaker. One more cut. I mean, I would kind of want to just cut a 1-drop creature. I think I'm gonna want to run the Writer's Blow and the Take Heart as kind of a little bit of interaction. I have very few interaction here. Yeah, I mean, thinking about getting paired against a Boros deck, I need to do stuff and do it early. Maybe it's still gonna be the Portcullis Wine. It blocks, but it doesn't trade with anything. Haunted Witness at least blocks and can trade, and at least can block twice if need be. And of course, the 1-drop will contribute. Well, both 1-drops would contribute to the Convokers, of which I have 4 in the deck, plus the trick. Okay, let's do it like this. I don't think this deck is particularly good one, but I don't know what could I have done differently in the draft. Maybe I'm just not very good at this particular format, but who knows, maybe this deck is gonna have good draws. And well, I mean, I do have this a couple of beefy guys. I have the Ledev Champion, which can basically win by itself. I mean, it takes a bit of a board stall though. It's not gonna win any game very quickly. But yeah, let's just play with this and see how it goes. And now if the matchmaking takes a long time, you can use the chapter selection. Well, this time it didn't, but for the next round, if the matchmaking takes a long time, or I mean, even if it doesn't take, you can just always, when the previous round ends, you can just click to the start of the next round. Okay, I'm on the draw with this hand. Only 2 lands, sadly. I have the Sunhome Stalwart. I have 1 3-drop. Opponent did mulligan, if that matters. And I guess I can play the Pax Favor and try to slow. Only Pax Favor if this survives, of course. But I'm gonna keep it because I have 3 draw steps to find a 3-drop. And after that, things should be at least somewhat okay. Okay, opponent kept 6. Selesnya Guildgate, is this gonna be a mirror? Might just be. I drew the land which was the, important thing, most important thing at this point of the game. Oh, more colors. This has first strike, so don't have to care about that. And if they have the 1 mana trick, I can use my own 1 mana trick. So let's just attack in here. So I'm not gonna... next turn I'm most likely playing the Inspiring Unicorn either way. So this has Mentor. So I'm gonna play this 1/1 so I can at least consider mentoring these guys. This way, that guy doesn't have Vigilance. I'm not sure if I said earlier that it has Vigilance, but of course it doesn't have Vigilance. Okay, so what does this mean? I have the Pax Favor, so it means I can attack kinda safely here. So what I'm gonna do here is I play the Ledev champion. And I can still use both Writer's Blow and Pax Favor in here. Right, so I got rid of the 4-4, also got 5 life out of that deal. And the Ledev champion can attack as a quite a big guy. Well, it's dead now. Well, this is pretty easy now. I'll simply just attack with all and get another 2-2 here. And they're probably gonna trade with the life linker, which is fine. I'm not gonna use the Writer's Blow on that. I will just play the Seratok. Oh, actually, probably the Unicorn post-combat. So if they have like a one big creature, that might be a problem. But if they have only small guys, my Writer's Blow and this board will be quite good, because everyone will get +1/+1. So, okay, well that's really something I can just deal with the Writer's Blow in here, so let's go and attack. They're likely gonna block the Inspiring Unicorn, and I'm not gonna allow that trade. I'm simply getting rid of the Swarm here, and now this is the kind of sad thing. I don't really want to play the thing that gives them 4 life, but I can still play the District Guide. It's not a bad idea. I get the land here, and this should be pretty easy. I mean, I have 4 3/3s here if the Unicorn survives this turn, so they would need like 3 blockers in there or removal. I mean, if they had removal, they would kill the Unicorn, but anyway. So I won the first one. By the way, did I win the first game in the previous 2 drafts too? And then it starts going downhill. Let's see what's happening now. Okay, so this is, but it's the problem of this deck. I don't have that many 2-drops, so I'm gonna keep it because I have the turn 3 play, whether it's the guide or the champion here, and I hope opponent doesn't have any aggressive start. I guess a swamp can mean that they shouldn't have any too aggressive start in here. They are not Boros, they are not Selesnya. That's a 1-3, so it's fine. I think it's gonna be the Ledev champion then, because at least this can go attack without this being able to block it. And I don't need to grab a land yet, because I have 2 lands still in hand. Okay, so they are like going deep with the surveil. That could mean bad stuff for me. Okay, well that is also fine. So when they can exile this to shuffle the graveyard to library, okay? And this, when they surveil for the first time each turn, they get to drain 1. Alright. Well, I mean, I have 2 of these Convokery, unless they can... Oh, that can be bad, by the way. Now it's pretty sad that my deck doesn't have interaction a lot. But what can you do? So I'm just gonna attack now, see what they have. If they are gonna double block, if I'm lucky, I can get trade with the Phantasm, because this will grow quite a lot, I'm sure. So let's just try to trade here. I do have the Pax Favor if they have something funny here. I didn't want to. I mean, I could have played the Pax Favor here now, but I just didn't want to risk them having something. Although it might be that in this format there's not really any instant here. Yeah, I mean, I could have killed them both, but I just kind of considered it might be too risky. I'm not so sure if it was, but But at least I will have it for future use now. I'm just happy to get rid of this, because this can really grow out of hand. This thing. And my deck doesn't have like a very few pieces of removal only. Okay, so no surveillance stuff here. They haven't really gotten any payoffs with the snitch or the surveillance. This is nice with my 2 convokers here. But of course, let's see, they have 3 power in there. If I just play the zone companions in here, that's gonna mean that I can attack as a 4/4. They shouldn't be having any good blocks, and I have to Pax Favor again if they have some kind of a trick there. So yeah, this ability says whenever I attack, I can tap any number of untapped creatures, and then I will get +1, +X, depending on how many creatures I tapped. And this will also can, at very expensive cost of 5 mana, can actually pump those creatures. So now they have a Death Touch blocker that stops my attacks for now. It might just be the time to actually play the Equinox now, because I have the mana here available thanks to the Convoke. So they will need to find an answer to this guy. The Death Touch thing isn't enough. Okay, so they are missing land drops. That's actually bad for them, but well, it's good for me. No reason. Okay, they really they were at 20 something life, 20 exactly. So I guess the deck didn't have an answer for this, or they maybe had like a 5 mana answers for this and they didn't want to wait to draw them, or draw the mana for them. I mean, this Death Toucher actually meant that I should have, at some point I would have needed to, trade one of my good guys to it. But well, I mean, that doesn't matter now. I won this. Maybe I would have won anyway now that they conceded. That probably means that they didn't have a good way to deal with my flyer. So maybe the flyer would have just gone the distance. Okay, so I'm at 2-0 now. Now there is a good chance to hit the third win that gets me the 1000 gems reward, which is kind of the main first target every time you play a premier draft, to get to 3 wins. Again, no 2-drop, and I'm on the draw, but still I have the guide and the zone companions in here, so I'm gonna keep it. At least I'm happy to see a swamp, because that usually means it's not gonna be that aggressive start from the opponent either, so I can miss making a 2-drop here. But that's of course nasty. I don't have a good block on that thing. Well, I guess I just have to let them draw a card if they can surveil. If I play the Zone Companions right now, next turn I could convoke to make a 4/4 actually. 4/4 is enough to block this thing. I guess I'll just have to do that. By the way, I will have this gargoyle being at 6/6 because I already have drawn 2 guild gates, and this will get the third and final guild gate from my deck. Okay, so that's no surveil card. So now I'm gonna just actually. There's no reason to try to get a very large Colossus here, because most likely it's gonna just trade with the agent here. So I think I'm gonna just play the Colossus now as a 4/4. Well, they had the removal for it, and they get the surveillance card draw. So this card is really good in Dimir. I mean, I'm not even sure if. Well, I guess the one good common that is both green and white that goes to Selesnya is the 5 mana Convoker. That is a really good card. So it's pretty sad that I didn't get any of them, because this is a very good Dimir common, for example. So I don't get to play similar quality cards in here, but at least I can play the Blade Instructor, which can trade with the agent. I mean, then drawing one card is not really the end of the world. So I'll now play the Instructor and the Dissident. And next turn I can play a District Guide and the Selesnya Guild Gate. And then the turn after that I can play the other Guild Gate. Oh, come on. Yeah, there goes my plan to play a 6/6 gargoyle. I mean, I'm gonna discard the land here because I want to play at least a 2/2 next turn. If I discard the guide here, that means that I don't get to play anything if I draw, for example, a land. Because if I draw a land, I definitely want to, I mean, would have wanted to play the Guild Gate to make this at least a 5/5. So what this means now, they didn't attack. I can't attack with the 1/1s. I could attack with both of these to make it the Dissident a... Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't mind actually trading with the Muse Dragon here. If I can make the Dissident here at 3/3. So let's see what's gonna be. That's fine. I play the District Guide. I mean, I guess it's fine still now that I can, unless they have a 2 discard things, I can next turn play the Gargoyle and it will be a 5/5 still. It's a good one. So don't make me discard. Okay. That's how it goes then. Well, I guess I was already at 2-0, so it would have been too good to go to 3-0 here. Because now, of course, they get the surveil. They get to now get the full value of their you know, the surveil business, because the disinformation campaign is a really good build around. And I can still like draw the Equinouts. I can draw a C2M. It's not the end of the world, but I mean, if I could have played here a 5/5 flyer, that would have been pretty good. But they had to have exactly that thing. Well, anyway, I can't attack with anyone but the Dissident. At least I drew something that I can also attack with. And of course this I can pump at some point. Alright, counterspell. Well, this is not gonna be enough. I mean, they are gonna deal with this Dissident one way or the other. I mean, if nothing, it's just instant speed surveil effect. Well, land is not really good here. I mean, I still am not in a position to attack with all. They will just eat the guide and take 7. They're at 5, and that's still a decent amount. I just hope they don't have any instant speed surveil here, so I can at least attack for 5 now, and I'll play this because otherwise it just gets discarded. I guess I can draw the Equinout and then hope they don't have a removal for it. Well, there went my ground attacks. I need the flyer now. Or there's a prey upon. I guess I can use like a 1/1 to kill it. Well, okay, I'm gonna try it because I'm having a so low chance to win anything here. So if they have some response to this, then they do. Okay, well they did not. So now, if they don't have a instant speed surveil, I'm still in decent shape. But I mean, they have 4 cards in hand. They have drawn like 6 cards more than I, and they have made me discard a very good card. So they didn't do anything. No blocks. Now they have a bounce spell, and then that means I'm gonna concede because, well, I mean, I shouldn't concede it. Okay, they had that then. So should I have played around that thing? I mean, I don't concede because I can still draw the Equinouts, but man, this is so low chance to win against. They have drawn 9 cards more than me, and there is the answer to the potential Equinouts. That's the answer to any of my ground guys. Okay, the Ledev champion. That's something I can have. Yes. Okay, I do have outs in here, but it's so kind of demoralizing to play against that kind of a card advantage. You know that they are supposed to win. I mean, I guess they have just drawn a ton of land, and that's the reason. Um, that's the reason they are not winning already. I don't have a good attack. They can eat that 2/2. They can double block. I need something else. I mean, if I drew like the +3/+3, I could have made an attack here, but they didn't. So I guess I can draw the Ledev champion and win with that, but I don't have that much time. Their 3-power flyer is gonna finish me at some point. Yeah, they had just the thought eraser. That was the backbreaking. They had it exactly before I was gonna play my 5/5 flyer. Well, there's the Equinox, but sadly it's not gonna be that good. What kind of counterspells there are? Are there taxing counterspells? I don't care. Well, they do have a lot of land. But now they get the surveil and they get the draw. Maybe they get milled here before I... Hey, there's a chance. Because surveil actually, if they don't keep the cards, they go to graveyard. Unlike in Scry when they go to bottom of the deck. If they draw a card, well, that's one step closer to them milling themselves. But I mean, the rest of the deck is mostly gonna be like non-lands. There's about 2 lands in here. 3, 4, 5. 9, that's 14 lands here. Well, they can draw all their cards and... Well, do they have enhanced surveillance? I mean, no. Yeah, at least not yet. If they had that, then they could shuffle their graveyard back. But they still have 9 cards. I mean, I'm gonna lose here pretty surely. There's no way for me to get rid of the Predator because it has hexproof, so I'm just going to attack. And try to at least trade with it. And then I play the Siege Worm. And I guess the Ledev champion can win here. If I draw a Ledev champion, I can win with that. They need to deal with the Siege Worm. I mean, maybe don't need to exactly, they can multiple block it, but alright, now they have some actual card in here. Yeah, they can kill that, and now this. Well, the good thing is that the plus on the rally is not really that good for them now. They have only 8 cards left, and that means they're losing 2. So I mean, there's like a small chance that they can't actually push through the damage if I draw like the Ledev champion. This is actually great because I'm not gonna win with damage anymore. I'm gonna only win by them decking out. So let's see. I really wanted to get the 4 life there. So if they use the plus on Ral, they actually accelerate their demise quite a lot. 1 goes in hand, 1 in graveyard. Unless they do have enhanced surveillance in the deck, then of course I will just not have a good chance to win. I don't have any graveyard recursion here, so I don't care about this thing having lifelink. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. They can use 1 minus here, of course. They will kill one of my guys. The rat doesn't do anything. Oh boy, there is actually a chance to win by them decking. I mean, if I had drawn the Ledev champion here, that would produce me more jump blockers, so that would be pretty nice, but they are gonna have to start attacking now. Yep, that's fine. Surveil doesn't do much. I mean, they're gonna be able to kill one of my guys with Rull, and then they can actually start doing some attacks here. But they can't. They shouldn't play the campaign here anymore. That would be not good. And they definitely shouldn't plus the Ral, but they can use -1, so now they can actually have attacks here, and they are at 11 life, so they don't have to worry about the counter attacks, especially because I have the. I mean, they don't have to worry about counter attacks because they have so much life themselves too. I mean, they actually had to draw a card there, so that was nice. So if I can, okay, they will just surveil, but they can't really mill that card. They get the blood reparative pack though. Yeah. So let's see if I draw a Ledev champion now that actually can win me the game. Because I can play that and make a 1/1 token. Or one zone companions too. Just basically anything that's not a land. It's a land. I'm so close here. I mean, darn. I mean, this is really good. If I had drawn a land. No, a non-land, of course. Land, I did draw a land, that's not great. But yeah, they of course drew their deck, so they're supposed to win here. The sad thing is that they're gonna win with exactly 0 cards in their deck, because I'm at 1 here now. Okay, so they needed to have 1 fewer card in the deck and I would have won. Yeah, that happened. Okay, I don't get to play first much, but at least I have now 2 and a 3 drop, so that's good. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Do I want to play the Witness and then maybe miss out on a 3 drop? I don't feel like that. I mean, if I draw any land though, that will let me. Okay, fine. Let's take a. I mean, this is maybe a minor risk. I can still play a 2 drop, and then maybe I have to play like a take heart on the next turn. Alright, so this thing says, and there's the land. Okay, so they get to copy some instant and sorceries that target this particular creature, and if they have any other creatures that could be a legal target to that, they get to copy it for free. Okay. I guess I should have attacked with the Haunted Witness. Because I have the take heart. Basically I would have telegraphed I have something, but yeah, I mean they would have taken it through and that's 1 damage. Maybe not that relevant. Locket, okay. I don't mind trading these guild mages in here. I will attack with the guild mage for sure. I mean, actually I'm gonna save my own now that you think of it. Does mean I miss my 3 drop, but I can play the tapped land at least. Yeah, I do wanna consider it. I mean, this can actually pump some creatures at some point. Although the Ledev champion can too, but at least they have to kill 2 of my guys. And they didn't have a play for that turn, which means that I get to actually be on the offensive here a bit, because the Ledev champion is gonna attack as a very large thing, potentially as a 6/6 here, because when I play the companions, I can make it a 6/6. So now they really can't tap out on a single creature, or what they can, but then they will risk taking 6 damage here, which I can't imagine they would be very fond of. But they do have 6 mana available, and they have playing blue-red, so a lot of answers to the Ledev champion can be there. Although the guild mages, yeah, like I said, they need to find answers for both, because they are not raising me, so any kind of a creature that can generate me a continuous advantage will be bad for them, even though it costs like 6 or 5 mana to activate. So it seems like they have something and they're just considering which one to remove. Okay, they just bounced those guys, but they bounced them and I have mana to play them both. So that was just, they used a card for that. I mean, they bought time for themselves, of course. but it's not the end of the world for me. So they can have some kind of counter spell, but I guess I don't care about which one they counter. Both are good. No counter spells, no nothing on the end of turn. They do have 5 cards in hand and 6 mana available, so they're still up to... Okay, Maniacal Rage. Well, that's not helping them. So they opted to use 4 mana to draw more cards. I wonder what their hand is. Okay, their hand is very slow. Doesn't really affect the board in any way. Well, now I get to actually double spell, so let's do a lot of damage here now. Just don't have any kind of mass removal. I don't remember if red has some mass removal in this set, but it doesn't matter. I can just attack with all these and tap with those 3 to deal a bunch of damage in here. And now if this Led of Champion or the Guildmates, if either of them survives, and even if I draw a land, I can actually use my mana to create more guys. That's a good one. That's a good one, but I am at quite... I have a lot of creatures in here, but basically they have infinite jump blockers. Well, I mean, not necessarily infinite, but I assume they have a lot of triggers for this thing. So they get to jump this Led of Champion quite a bit. Okay, I'm not gonna play that card, but I'm gonna first try to attack and see what they do. No tap effects. Okay. I guess I'm gonna only attack with the District Guide and a Led of Champion for now. I mean, I guess I could attack. Not yet. They are at 8. 8 is a bit too much. So I'm gonna attack only with these things. And make the guy here happen. I mean, that gives a bit of information to them, which is maybe not ideal, because I'm quite sure they are just gonna jump or bounce or something into this Led of Champion here, but... Okay, so they did not use that. I don't get it. They could have done that before attacks. Well, let's make it the big one. They can double block the District Guide, but of course that means that they're gonna take 5 damage and they still lose the 1/1. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. So, well, I do have a lot of guys, but they do have this token creator in here. 1 use for the Sonic Assault. So now I suspect they have at least 1 other thing to play as an instant speed effect. Well, I'm not gonna play the Blade Instructor, I just rather use the Guildmates, but let's do the same thing. So I've tried to attack first. And they now do the correct thing and use the Sonic Assault before I get to attack. They actually used up a Command the Storm. That's a too expensive thing for them. Okay, they copy the... Sure. So they copy that thing and they will tap something else, which is gonna be... It's gonna be the Guildmates. Well, then I can just make a token in that case. And they get some tokens in there, and I don't mind obviously trading my 2/2s with the tokens. I could attack with my 1/1s too, but that might be maybe a bit premature, or maybe not. I mean, I lose one of my life linkers because they are doing blocking with the Mystic. And then, okay, yeah, I'm gonna attack with my 1/1s. I can lose one to deal a bunch of additional damage. Or if I trade those flyers with my 1/1s, I wouldn't care about that either. So they are at one card in hand only anymore. Okay. They can draw cards, but it costs a lot of mana. Well, that's not a bad one. They get a token and some additional cards. They still have 5 mana available and a potential land drop. Electromancer doesn't make them a token, but that means they can still cast the Insight, because this makes it one cheaper. But I mean, the 1/1 flyers just aren't good enough against my 2/2 guys. That's the problem they are facing here. Now they can still have a land. Do they have a 1 mana spell? Doesn't seem like they do. So now I can again. Okay, Prey Upon is gonna be good. But do I have to win if I Prey Upon a blocker away? I do not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They lose 1. They take. No, actually, if they have 4 blockers, I should win I should win in that case. Unless I'm mistaken. I attack with all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attackers. They can block only. They have to take 2. So they take the 1, 1 and 1, 2, 2. So that's 3 damage. So I think this is it. These things do that, and I can play actually the. No, I can actually. Or whatever. Well, actually, I'm gonna just activate these just in case and to boost it at least a bit. So like that, and sure, I can actually even tap my vigilance guys. So like this. So this should be enough because they can't do anything with the red mana. So this is exactly enough. Yep. So yeah, whoa. A third victory, and I even get to a new tier here. So my bad run of pre-med drafts has halted for now. I mean, 3-0, 3 wins isn't the best possible result. Of course, I can still get more wins, but I'm a lot happier about these than the previous 2 results I had, even if I lose the next 2 games. Well, now I get to play first, and I have only 1 land. Sad. Have to mulligan it, of course. Wow, this is not much better, but at least if I get to draw the 3rd one, I will have the access to 4th right away. But these hands, this is best of 1. And I'm playing 17 lands, so I'm supposed to, get a lot of the time a 3 land starter. Now I got a 1 lander into 2 lander. Well, I'm gonna keep this, of course, and I'm going to actually. I think I might even not have the Haunted Witness in here because I don't have the White Sorcerer yet, so It's the least impactful card here because I can't play it on turn 1. And if I draw a plains right now, I'm just happy I draw the land. Oh, that wasn't the plains, but that was a land, so that means my district guy will fix my mana. Although I would really want to get a guild gate, but there's actually a problem with the guild gate. I can't play a white spell next turn unless I draw a plains after that, but the guild gate makes the gargoyle so much better. I think I have to make the gargoyle better. I mean, there's still a chance I draw a plains next turn, but this will slow me down. I guess I can draw a plains or a green card. This has first strike when it attacks, so I can't block it. I mean, can, but it's not very smart decision. I mean, this might have been a decent hand if I had the... Yeah, now they had the bodyguard. I have nothing to play. Okay, that's actually enough. I can't beat a regular Boros draw with the project bodyguard with this kind of hand. So that was just better to concede and move to the next game. I mean, they got the 3-2 first striker and 3-3. I can't block them either. I'm at 12 life. And what I can do on the next turn after that, play something that doesn't really block efficiently. So there was no reason to continue that. I mean, there wasn't a sequence of... I mean, I guess there was like a very weird sequence of plays. Maybe all the cards in their hand were just lands, and I would have drawn exactly what I needed to maybe have some kind of a siege worm there soon enough and some stuff like that. But really, I would have been attacked to 12 on the following turn, and then I was really running out of time there. I mean, that really happens in best of 1, that you have to mulligan a bad hand into a risky keep, and then you don't get there and you lose. And that's the thing what can happen in best of 1. You lose a game due to bad starting hand, even despite you mulliganed, and that's it. When you lose a game, you lose the match. Well, now it's a 1-drop, 3-drop spells I can play. I mean 1-drop, 2-drop, and spells I can play. But I don't want to maybe draw that many lands here. I want to have more creatures, please. Oh, I mean, at least now that I drew this forest, it's not so big a deal. And I did draw a creature. Okay, good. After all went well. Oh, I still get a 1-1 here. And hope they don't have more discard. I would actually want to, now that I have a 3-3 to prey upon, might be a good one. But I mean, if they play like a mono burglar rats there, I can just be in trouble. Okay, now exactly this is great. Buy immediately. And I'm gonna play the land, even it means that if they have a discard effect, that would mean I lose my only spell, but I do wanna go to 6 mana so that I can start pumping tokens. Okay, great. Let's attack with all, and I have to write this blow in here. Okay, this is a good draw now. But I mean, they have still 4 cards and I have only these things. So it only needs that they play like a 4-5. The Dowser, what's that card? The black 5 mana 4-5. Or they play a Gates deck or something like that. Or just a 4 color, you know, who knows. They capture sphere that, but they are gonna drop to... Alright, the Dissident. That's a nice draw. Yeah, they couldn't afford this guy to start pumping creatures, but this actually is a 4-4 now with this mana that I have available, so they must play something that is mana efficient. Okay, now there's the Dowser. And I sadly... Oh, okay, it's time for me to be lucky here. So basically, they lose now. Well, I don't know. Doesn't feel like I deserve it, but I guess sometimes you have to draw well. I mean, I guess the last match I just had a mulligan into a bad hand, a risky keep, and this was kind of the compensation for that. So I get to win the 4th match, which is actually big because that is in terms of the price, it's additional 400 gems. So I'm now, I was getting 1000 gems, now I'm getting 1400 gems. So almost get my entry fee back. So not that I really care about the gems. As you can see, I have over 70,000 gems, but it's still the kind of, I mean, when you are a bit of a min-maxer, you really care about those things. Even though it's not that serious. If I mean, I could afford to lose a few drafts in a row. And of course, I just want to, produce content. It will be maybe for those of you who actually watch these matches and not only the draft portion of the video, it might be more interesting to see actually more than a few matches. Okay, so I had a good draw there, and that of course means that now I have to have a bad draw. If one of these was a forest, this actually would be a very nice hand. 2-drop, 3-drop, and maybe convoking these things anytime soon, but now that I don't have the forest in here, I'm gonna mulligan it. Okay, keep it and forest bye-bye. This doesn't have a 2-drop, so it's not that really ideal, but it's not really a bad 6 card hand. I have the district guide to basically kind of give me the card back that I lost in the mulligan, even though it's just a land, but this deck can use land. Oh, and I did draw the 2-drop. And getting the guild gate is relevant if I happen to draw my gargoyle. So I can play the Blade Instructor and then give the Stalwart a counter. Of course, they are playing black, so they could have a dead weight or a number of removal spells, I suppose. That is an Okapi, but I do have a Pax Favor in here, so there's a chance that if they double block, I get to kill them both. They didn't do that, so let's play the Instructor. I will take, of course, they both have Vigilance, so they can attack here for 5 damage now. I'm obviously not going to block anything here. And then, but I still have my Pax Favor in here, so okay, lose the land. It's a lot worse now, the Pax Favor, because it's gonna trade with the Burglar. I mean, if I use it, and I'm not gonna use it if they block with the Burglar Rat. But I guess I get a 3/3 first strike. 3/3 first strike Mentor. I mean, I can't just forget about attacking with this. I might just play for the long game and play the Sworn Companions now and have the Colossus up. If they have nothing, they can't. Actually, I'm gonna play the District Guide because that lets me convoke this guy. Actually, that's what I'm gonna do here. Yeah, because if I play these are white cards, I wouldn't be able to convoke that Pax Favor, but now I can convoke it when I don't attack with anyone. So they shouldn't have a good attack here. Okay, so now I'm gonna play the Companions here. I could attack with my first striker, but not to open mana, no. And next turn I'm gonna play a big Colossus. I mean, I could play a 5/5, but I'm actually greedy now. I don't think there's any rush in this game. They can, of course, have removal spells for the big Colossus, but if they don't, I get to play a very big Colossus. That's gonna be a 2/2 only. I don't care about that. That can be good too, but first things first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. X equals 8. Sure. Tap them all. I mean, if they remove it, they can attack for quite a bit of damage. That's actually true. And these are even vigilance, so I can't crack back. So this was a risky one. I hope they don't have the 5 mana removal there. They do have the mana for it. Just crack the locket, please. Although why they don't have to crack it right now. They played the land already, I think. So they can just crack it end of turn. Okay, I guess they don't have the 5 mana destroy target creature serval too. They did not. So now things are different because I have the Pax Favor and the Writer's Blow here. I can start doing some attacks here. Don't need to play the land here. I'm going to attack with the Stalwart. I guess 1 token also. It will be a 2/2. This thing, and this thing. Yep. Then I just have to decide. Well, the Stalwart is obviously gonna just boost the token, and this Blade Instructor can maybe boost the Stalwart. Yeah, that makes the most sense. And I have 2 tricks in here, so it can't be too nasty. They are gonna use the Burglar Rat for the... Okay, they're gonna jump block. Well, that makes sense, because 8 damage is quite a lot. That trade is okay for me. And what else is gonna happen? I'm gonna save the Blade Instructor with the Writer's Blow. I let these trades happen. I don't care about the trades here. And that trade is fine too. But I'm gonna Writer's Blow the Shieldmate. And if they have something, I have my Pax Favor still. They still need to deal with the 8/8. That is their biggest trouble now. I will leave the Pax Favor here for now. I will leave the Forest also here now, because they might have another Burglar Rat. So now they get to draw 2 cards, but they have no board here. But they do have access to 4 cards now. So, but they need to get removal for the Colossus, and there are not that many, at least no cheap removal for it, I don't think. So now I can actually make this token a 3/3 if all my guys survive. I mean, if these mentor guys survive, I can make my token a 3/3 in the next attack. Molder Hulk is good, but it's actually not good enough here. Well, that's a good one too, but yeah, I'm gonna just attack with all. This is almost lethal. So I have to risk here, I think, because they're gonna take 14 damage, and yeah, I'm gonna risk it. So kill, I boost, I guess the token maybe? Or the the token. No, the Colossus. At least the Colossus, they can't kill it with instant beat. I hope they don't. I don't remember exactly what this format has, but yeah, they didn't have anything, so... Okay, so now my first successful run after the 2 sad ones is actually already at 5 wins. I'm on the draw, but this time I have both colors, only 2 lands, but I have the 2-drop and 2 different 3-drops. If I just draw a land in my first 3 draw steps, although I do have 3 guild gates which enter tapped, so if the third draw step happens to be a guild gate, or even the second one, because then I would miss the dissident. But anyway, if I draw even a guild gate, I would be happy. But I have had quite a number of starting hands with less than 3 lands, and with this with the 17 land and 40 card deck, the best of one algorithm should give you a bunch of 3 land starters. Usually, it's a very high likelihood for that. Opponent did mulligan though, and I did draw a 2-drop, so I can at least have 2 plays. I'm guaranteed to have 2 plays before I potentially start making plays. So this means now that even if I draw a guild gate here, it's fine. I can play the... Well, it wasn't even a guild gate, it was just a 3rd land, so everything is very, very fine here now. I can play the instructor next turn, then the Zone companions, I can start convoking this stuff. Okay, this is not bad at all. The V-Dragonauts, when they are tapped out, is going to mean that I'm going to say that I'm having a trick, so a couple of stops in there. A bit of bluffing here. 3-2 damage. And the Blade Instructor is next. So that I can potentially make the Dissident a bit bigger. No such luck. So I'll just play the companions here, and soon I get to play my Equinauts. They might kill the Dissident, but I mean, they can do that. It's fine. These have a lifelink, by the way, so the racing with the V-Dragonauts isn't that great a plan for them if they don't have a blocker for the... and they didn't choose to kill the Dissident. Probably because of that exact reason. So an untapped land would allow me to attack with this Dissident, but let's see. Well, that allows me to attack with every one of my guys. That's pretty nice. And the lifelink is very relevant. They do have a bunch of flying attackers here, but point is that I still gain 2 life. I mean, if I'm lucky enough that they block one of my lifelinkers, oh boy, I would gain 5 life in that case. And they would lose their Watcher in the Mist. Well, they didn't do that, but... Oh, actually, this was a stupid move. I was too excited about this draw. I should have played the Devkarin Dissident pre-combat, because then I could have convoked still. I would have had two lands and this Dissident. But I suppose the important part was that the Watcher died. But I mean, I could have still played optimally. Although, that might have telegraphed the play a bit better. Okay, that was a good one. They got rid of my lifelinkers. But that might have telegraphed the play so much that they wouldn't have actually... Okay, now they've gone the distance here. But they can actually win me that way. I'm happy I got more lifelinkers, but they can deal a bunch of damage next turn. I mean, the point, if I played the Dissident last turn, like I kinda considered that maybe I should have done that, that could have resulted in them not blocking. And that them not blocking would have been actually worse for me. So maybe, in the end, that was how I wanted it to go. Wait a minute, what's happening? Why are you asking? Yeah, the Dissident is a 2-mana spell, why don't you just cast it? Companions can do it pre-combat because they are tapped out. And now if I don't die this turn, the lifelinkers can be pretty nice. Although they probably have a blocker for them in that case. Yeah, that's fine. That's only 3 damage they're currently dealing to me. And I'm getting 2 life back unless you have a 2-mana blocker, which they did not. Well. Yeah, I'm just playing the champion here. I mean, I could play the Colossus as a 4-4 and not attack with the Dissident here, but I think the champion is just a better idea. I'm going back to 9 life here, that's actually big. I could play the Colossus as a 1-1, but don't think that makes a sense. I mean, it could make sense, but I just don't kind of believe it. Okay, they have this kind of thing, but I can still attack with the Dissident and the champion, and I'm actually having here a lethal attack. They both will deal 4 damage. So they have to block here, unless they have something with the 1 mana. I guess they didn't play a land yet. So if they are holding only land that they can, and no spells that they can play, they actually have to leave. I mean, they don't have to leave a blocker, but they have to block next turn. So what 1 mana spell can there be? That's a good question. I can't actually play anything pre-combat. I want to leave this mana up. Well, okay, in that case, let's try to attack with these 2. Like so. I submit these guys. It's 8 damage if you don't block. And if you block, you lose the Drake. There can be the surveil thing. Yeah, the surveil thing that's good for them. Because it actually makes this a 4-4. And it makes my guy, small enough to not kill that. There's a -3, -0 surveil. Is it 1 or 2? I think that kind of spell is in existence. So we'll see. But it did seem like it went snap to blockers, so it doesn't seem like they have any spell in their hand that they can play. But that surveil -3, -0 thing, that can really make them win the game actually. The best thing they can do here is actually block the Dissident and force me to use the 5 mana. If they don't do that, I'm actually gonna play the Guildmage and the Colossus as a 2-2, but they did the correct move here, so no stuff in there. Okay, so now they can still deal a lot of damage with the V-Dragonauts. They can deal 8 damage in a turn. That is a pretty explosive card potentially, so I'm not safe yet. But if they can't deal the required amount of damage here, I'm having here 2 lethal attackers again, okay? Well, now they still need to have like a +2. Yeah, anything that, well, maybe they have 2 spells and, okay, so if they have like they need 1 more spell and that's it. They didn't have it. Huh, they didn't have it. Okay, good. So this is just a win now. They can't block them both and they already exactly are taking 4 damage in here. So, yep. That was really a kind of interesting match because I was left at 1 life and I was able to deal exactly 4 there. Yeah, because there was no other way. I mean, if I attack with all, they can just block the Dissident. No, actually, it didn't matter. But anyway, it was only 4 damage that I could have dealt there. They of course have to block the thing that can deal 4. But if I attack with these 4, it doesn't matter if I attack with just these and tap these or attack with all of them. I was able to deal only 4 damage, so that was really, really tight outcome in there. Sometimes the 1 life point can matter, so that means that play each of your turns as optimally as possible. You never know that if you have some, like I made some mistakes during this draft 2, maybe missing a life point here and there, that really can matter in some cases. Anyway, this is the final round because I am at 6 wins and 2 losses, so unless this for some weird reason ends up in a draw, this game will be the final match of the video. And I have 2 drop spells I can play other than the Ceratok. Only 2 lands again, yet another starting hand with just 2 lands, but at least I got both colors in here, and I have 2 drops to play here, so it's not so bad. But I wouldn't mind to have a 3-land starter. It would be pretty. I wouldn't have to, I wouldn't have to count on drawing immediately more lands, because now I will have to. I really want to draw more lands here. At least this has Convoke, so I don't need 6 lands to cast it, but... okay, Growl Harpooner, what does that mean? I really don't want to trade here, but I mean, I kinda... I mean, I assume they don't block because it's a bigger guy than mine, but... because I'm not gonna block it, because I didn't draw the land type, I actually drew a pretty bad card in this situation, a 4-drop. Yeah, because if I don't attack, they will attack, and I'm not gonna block with either of these guys. So I'd rather try to deal the 2. Okay, that's fine then. I mean, maybe I would have slightly preferred them not blocking, because that would have made it easier to cast Restorer at some point. But... okay. Well, sometimes you can't win them all, though. Missing the land drop here is just... I mean, I guess it was the... no, it was the second missed land drop. Yep. Opponent is at 4 lands already, so they just need to have some regular curving out there, and I probably cannot keep up. I do have the Pack's Favor, which I can use. It's gonna be a bit risky. That's the only spell I can play this turn, so definitely I do play it now just to trade with the Warrior Copy. And I guess now that I did draw a Plains exactly, I can play all my 4-drops, although, I mean, being able to play even these 2 would be pretty much enough. Alright, now they will have a ton of lands, and their Glaive of the Guild Pact will be online. I'm gonna play the Ceratok first, because of the reason that the Prey Upon might do something with this 4-3. With 2 2s and 2 1s, it probably does nothing. Okay, it doesn't do anything in here. I think I'm gonna just play the Loxodon Restorer here instead. Although that thing is something I might wanna kill at some point. Yeah, all the guildmates die, so much of the Restorer. Untapped land would have been enabled me to do that, but I suppose I'm going to just play the... yeah, I can play only 1 spell now, so I'm not gonna use the Prey Upon right now. Them gaining life or using their first ability isn't really gonna be that big of a deal, but they do have a ton of guild gates here. Okay, they have 5 guild gates. Alright, that does actually mean trouble for me. So I guess I'll have to try to raise them, and this is the card I can use to raise them. Also, it makes my Prey Upon a bit better. I guess I should have actually attacked here, because I'm not gonna block. They're gonna equip the Glaive. Yeah, actually I might have just lost 4 damage there. And if they block... not sure if that even matters so much. Well, I mean... that's not necessarily so bad, but... if I take 11 damage, I can attack next turn, and I doubt they're gonna make any blocks. And then I can use the Prey Upon to kill the Swamp Guildmates. Yeah, I just wish I'd attacked last turn. They would be at 16. But that was my bad. I didn't think things through. Yeah, because this has menace. Yeah, that's the reason. I mean, of course I would just snap block the Peacemaker, but it has menace. So I can trade with the guildmates. Well, I'm not gonna trade with it. I'm gonna take the damage, I'm gonna attack, and I suppose if they block with the Peacemaker, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, there's another possibility. I can play the Restorer and then prey upon the Swamp Guildmates either way. But no, I think I have to raise here, so let's do it like this. Okay, so they did make the trade. I mean, I don't mind that so much, because I can still at least do this thing. I can't play either of them, so let's take the Siege Worm. And I'm gonna enter and I'm gonna hope. I don't know what I'm gonna hope here. Yeah, the glaive is so nasty with all the guild. Okay, they... Well, I guess I'm gonna just... The reason I'm blocking this guy is that they're gonna glaive it up and it would be a big threat anyway. Actually, I'm a bit worried that they didn't use the 3 mana here. Yeah, well, that's the reason. So there's no 7 wins for me here, but I'm very happy to get the 6 wins. Yeah, I think the game is pretty much over now because they can equip this. I mean, I guess I can gain 4 life here. Sure, let's gain 4 life. So it's not over yet, but it will be. I can't deal 17 to them. The glaive is gonna be the card that... I mean, in fact, they don't even need the glaive right now. Just the Molder Hulk is gonna be quite nasty. Oh yeah, actually, I didn't realize that. I have the jump block now. I mean, I had no good blocks here anyway. I guess I could have left... no, I could. I had to use the Unicorn to play this thing. Yep. Oh. Played Instructor. No, I have to... These are both lethal now. This has to be double blocked. This has to be answered in some other way. So I actually don't have any... I mean, if I play the Blade Instructor and use the Prey upon to kill the guild mates, they can just equip the Emmara in here. And it's gonna be lethal as well, thanks to this guild gates. So that is a match over and event over, but finally I got a reasonable result here. And I'm happy that I have played now 3 drafts. One Boros deck, one Golgari deck, and one Celestia deck. So maybe I can play Dimir and Izet as well at some point. I will play this maybe not daily, but occasionally. I think there's only 1 week. I don't actually remember how... Is there only 1 week for this event? Maybe there is. But I will play maybe a couple of more times. Let's claim the prize here. And it's time to say goodbye for now. I will see you in the next draft. Bye bye.